Welcome back to Legacy Racing. It's been a little while since I've been on the bike. I've had some visitors from home and bits and pieces going on, so since the big Squamish Enduro I've done the midweek race, and that's the only time I've ridden my bike. And we've got the SORCA and OneUp downhill race in Squamish next weekend, so it's time to get back on the bike and get prepared. When I last rode during that midweek race, I was a little bit disappointed when I got home and reflected on the race. I was a little bit disappointed with the intensity that I was able to carry during the race, and yeah, it just didn't really go the way I wanted it to. So today, because I've been off the bike for a little while, I'm going to go back to basics. I'm going to ride the track from stage 1 from the midweek race, which was the source into Full Nelson into Ditch Pig. I'm going to focus mostly on the source section because there were some bits that I didn't ride well at all and I lost a lot of time. So first run, I'm going to take it steady down. I'm going to look at some bits and pieces, look at some lines, and try and ride them nicer and ride them faster and work our way down. And then I'm going to come back up and do another run down it, a full run this time, and see where we're at, see if the pace is good, see if I can eradicate some of those errors that I had last time. I'm going to come up again and ride Free the Speedos, which is the second half of the SORCA downhill race track. So I'm going to try and get comfortable on that. There's mosquitoes everywhere. I'm going to try and get comfortable on that and get up to some kind of speed, but today I'm mostly going to try and just have fun on the bike and get back to basics, because I've definitely got some improvement to make there. So let's get it.
Okay, into the source. Going to take it reasonably steady to start with. Just a little bit wet. Oh, that's blown out a bit. Whoa! Oh, that was the hole that I forgot about during the race. Well, not necessarily forgot about, but caught me off guard. Oh, this track is very blown out. Oh! Okay, this is the section to look at. Now, when the race, I pulled from here and tried to go left and landed in that hole, which was a big mistake. So let's have a look. Now, I think the right thing to do is to pull off of here, but the mistake I made was I wasn't going fast enough, so I landed in that hole. So you need to carry speed from here, which is easy to do because there is a gap there if you've got the speed. Carry it down here, gap from here, avoid all of this, avoid this hole, which is the problem, and land into this transition here. And once you've done that, you're going to be carrying a lot of speed. The right thing to do, I think, so we land here, squash here, and then I think what we want to do is try and thread the needle a little bit. Aim for these two here, pull, so we gap all the rocks, land further down there, land somewhere down here, a little bit of junder, a little bit soft, and then, whoa, slippy today, squash this, stay wide, and then into the turn. Now that turn hasn't got a huge amount of support, so it's really important that technique is dialed. Yeah, so we want to come out into this outside line, into the turn, hit it nice and hard. And immediately out of that right hand turn, we come into another section which is quite important. So the main line goes kind of inside here, and then there's a high line which opens out the corner much better. But there's a lot of slippery roots just here, and then a couple of big rocks just there in the turn. So I think the best way to approach this one is to go middle line here, pull from here over that rock, land behind it, and then into the turn, because it opens out the corner enough and it avoids all of the big rocks and the roots. Now, I'm not going to pull for that first gap on this run, so I'm going to land there, pull, land there, through there, squash that, and then over that one, hit the turn. Okay. I struggle with that left-hander actually. I mean, I struggle with a lot of turns too, if we're honest. Oh! That one's scary. Okay, now we're getting to more tacky stuff. That's where I had no TB before. Little inside line. And there is a gap on that exit, but I don't know if I've got that in me. Oh, that was a fun warm-up. Not bad. Conditions are pretty slippery. It rained a lot last night and this morning, so not ideal, but still really fun. My riding was not the best. Feel a little bit rusty, but hopefully we've shaken off some cobwebs. And let's go for a full run, a bit quicker. Okay, lap 2 of the Source. I'm going to try and get a full lap in on this one. And I want to focus mostly on being more active on the bike. I've noticed recently that I become a passenger a lot of the time. And I just let the bike and the trail do what they're going to me. So I'm going to try and be more intentional, move the bike around, and just be a bit more active. So that's the focus for this one. Let's go. Not really sure what to do with that hole. Oh, too wide there. That corner is really tough if you don't get wide. Ooh. Okay, that gap. Oh! Come in with a lot of speed when you do that gap. That wasn't bad. Really struggle with that left. That's better. Oh. That is slick. And a lot of loose rocks. I'm going to clear some of this up. Now, coming up and looking at the track, I think the crash was actually caused by a mistake made slightly further up the trail, which is quite a common case of small silly crashes like that. What I did, I came down here and then I was on the outside on that corner, which meant that that tight left, I ended up going inside, which then pushed me outside on the exit and pushed me super inside on the corner that I crashed on. So what we need to do to fix that and eradicate that problem, we're going to drop down here, come a little wider, cut inside up there to open out the left, which means I can turn and then open up the right and hopefully carry a bit more speed and not crash. So let's give it a go. My bars have actually turned in that crash, so they're not actually in line, so this is going to be a bit scary. So I'm going to reduce the speed a bit and focus on the line. Drop here, inside, open that out, and then open that corner. My bars are so far out of line. This is terrifying. And my foot's unclipped. Decided to come up and do a third lap on the Source because I don't really want to finish on a lap with the crash, and I feel like I can pick up speed a bit. So I'm going to try and be a bit more active because I was still a bit of a passenger at times, and see how we go. Whew. Let's go. Oh. That's better on that corner. Oh. little bit better. Yeah, this is where I need to get the better line. Inside. Better. And the gap. And the jump. Lots better. Oh, much better. Well, that was a lot better. Pretty good considering the conditions as well, so I'm pleased with that. And I just heard from some of the boys that I did the Squamish Enduro with, and they're coming up for a ride, so I'm probably going to leave the 3 the Speedos lap, and I'm going to do a good lap with those guys. So let's go.
Yeah, I know. I don't know about that. It's just that entrance to it.
Oh my god!
Oh, shit.
Holy shit!
I really fucked you up there.
I think we both just did the same thing. Oh, that's the worst place to go down.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Fuck. Yeah,
that is slick. Holy shit.
off the edge. Oh, no.
Oh, that was savage. I'm absolutely fucking covered. Oh, that's tight. Oh, deep. Ah. Oh. Whew. That's fun.
There was one
That was slick.
corner early on, I went.
Whew. Oh, okay, we're going this way. Oh, oh, that's tight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh. Whoa. Oh, I'm unclipped. Oh, bad place to be unclipped. There we go. Woohoo!
Sick.
That was fun. That's tight. Oh, that's even tighter. Fuck. Ugh. Oh. Whew. Nice. That was good. Another ride in the bag. That was a really fun day. It was nice to get back on the bike. I've really missed it. And I feel like the progression over the day was good. Like, I felt very rusty to begin with, but it was good to look at the lines and see where I was making mistakes. In a way, it was kind of good to crash as well, because it meant that I thought about what I was doing and was able to do that section a bit better. So pleased with how the third run went, and it was fun to ride with the boys again, even though it was a pretty silly crash, but you know, it's all part of it, it's all fun. It's a big week this week. I've got the 4th round of the SORCA Enduro Series, which is a midweek race again, so that's on Wednesday. And then next weekend is the downhill race, so I'll be doing practice on Saturday and race on Sunday. So it'll be a big week of riding and big week of videos, hopefully. So stay tuned for those. In the meantime, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.